But we're back here, and we're talking Lions. Dan Campbell talked about, you want to do the offense or the defense, Spenny? I'll let you decide this one.
We can do offense.
All right, let's hear what Dan Campbell had to say about the offense.
To start offensively, O-line responded in a big way. You know, Deck and Yodi, Graham, Ratledge, and Sewell, they played big-time ball for us, man. No sacks, you know, and then 6.8 average in the run game. Those guys played well together, did a good job, and that really got us going, started us off, and really the whole offense played well. I mean, all our guys, they really did. I mean, all those guys are going to get a game ball. They played too dang good. So, but out of that group, certainly the O-line, Goff is outstanding. All our guys, man, Saint, J-Mo, Gibbs, Demo, Laporta, they all just stepped up and played big for us, man. They were playing for the guy next to them, man. We had a lot of downfield blocks, just guys blocking for one another, man, trying to finish the play for their teammate. And then in return, when the ball got in somebody else's hands, then they would return the favor. It was good, man. It was good energy out there. I was proud of those guys.
Dan Campbell's an energy guy.
Yes.
He's a vibes guy.
Yes.
And we can clown that, but like
It works.
It works when you have that mentality, and when you get in a rhythm with the offensive weapons that this team has, it's almost like playing with toys in a toy box, man. Like, you can pull out any trick you want. Once you got the defense off balance, you can hit them with anything that you want. He was on the flagship this morning, and shout out to my boy Jim Costa. Love Jim. Worked with him in Grand Rapids.
Shout out Cookies.
Yep. He asked him, was it like riding a bike? That was the terminology he used. And Dan Campbell's like, yeah, I like that. Because, you know, like, shit, when's the last time you hopped on a bike, right? But I bet you if you jump back on, you'd be able to get that bitch down Woodward if you had to.
Yeah.
Right? And Dan Campbell got in his groove. He got in his rhythm. And you saw the players respond to him, too. I think that was one of my most important takeaways of the game on Sunday, is that little conversation that Jared Goff and Dan Campbell had on the sideline. Did you see that footage, Spenny?
Yeah.
When Goff was like, I forget exactly. It was something like, you did great. You did great. You did great. And then he whispered something. They both kind of chuckled.
Yeah.
Like, listen, you know I love Jared Goff. And you know I love Dan Campbell. But when those two get together, like, it's just so
just
special.
cream your pants.
Hey, like Dan Campbell said, every coach needs a quarterback, and I got mine.
Yeah.
And I got a good one.
Yeah.
And you know what? You saw it in the preseason footage leading up, going a quarterback. You saw it during quarterback, that fourth down play last year against the Packers when Dan Campbell told them going into the game, we're going for it on every fourth down. And they get to that last decision when all they have to do is get a first down to seal the game. Dan Campbell said he was going to send out the field goal unit.
Nope.
Goff walked over. He was like,
nope.
We're not going to go for it. And Dan Campbell was like, you know what? I sacked up in that moment because Jared Goff challenged him.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how awesome of a relationship these two have. And when he was whispering to him on the sideline, you could tell, like, the boys are back in town. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Like Chuck Daly and Zeke.
Yeah, similar.
It creams in your mouth a little bit.
Shout out T-Fon.
Shout out T-Fox, dude.
Glad Anson was on the screen during that.
I know. I'm like, of course, Spenny gonna leave me up on this one.
But honestly, when you see those types of things from players and coaches coming together, like, it's so special what we have here in Detroit right now. It's not unheard of, but it's special. You don't see it often. The Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes relationship. You know, that type of thing, the Belichick-Brady. Now, granted, they have Super Bowls in their back pockets, so don't jump all over me for saying that. But that relationship style, I don't think we've ever seen. Even when Stafford was here,
No.
what head coach did he hitch his wagon to?
You didn't.
You know, maybe the closest we've seen is Steve Mariucci and Jeff Garcia.
Yeah.
Like, I think, or Mike Martz and
Right.
John Kitna.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I think that's the closest Lions fan have ever
Should have been
been.
Schwartz and Stafford.
Wayne Fonts and Scotty Mitchell.
There you go, man.
Wah, wah,
Right.
wah.
What a
Crackhead Wayne
tandem.
Fox.
Eric Kramer and Wayne Fonts.
Yeah.
Got a playoff win.
That struck more fear. A little bit more.
But that's what I'm saying. In the history of the Lions, we have never had that type of relationship between head coach and quarterback. And when you track through it, give me a better one.
Well, and Stafford was the leader here, But the gripe that you and I always had was like, you watch his counterpart, Aaron Rodgers, politicking all game long as a Packer.
Right.
In his guys' ears, on the sideline, talking to the coach, talking to the refs. You just didn't see that from Stafford. You see it from him as a Ram, now that he has a ring. But you just never saw a guy
He gave up here.
You never saw anybody in Detroit actually be the leader, because it wasn't Barry when he was the best player.
No, 'cause he
it
was too
wasn't
quiet.
Calvin when he was the best player.
Quiet.
I mean, I guess you could say Chris Spielman kind of.
It was Ndamukong Suh when Matthew Stafford was at his best.
This Lions iteration, like everyone knows, it's 16 and it's the man Dan. Period.
Yeah. So awesome.
it's dope.
I just cannot believe we're existing in this time of Lions fandom.
I know it's
Like,
nuts,
we're
bro.
so blessed to
You
be here.
predicted this. We talked about this. That call when you told me about Woodward Sports back in 2020, we talked about this being the decade for Detroit teams, man.
Well, we couldn't get much lower than every team was in 2020. The Pistons
couldn't do
sucked.
much
The
worse,
Tigers
could
were record-setting. The Wings haven't been to the playoffs in forever, and the Lions were awful. Dan Campbell also spoke about the defense, though, Spenny, and what did he have to say?
Defensively, Lopez showed up big time. Man, he was disruptive. Couldn't block him. He's just been a quietly productive guy for us the whole season and just really stepped up in a big way. Branch was all over the field, played aggressive, smart, got him going, active player. Jack Campbell, man, he just continues to get better and better. I mean, he's our bell cow over there, man, and solves issues, plays snap to whistle. Rock was good. I thought TA played much better overall. That was good to see.
Bring up Jack Campbell. I mean, that impact, the number 3 overall fantasy point. We can judge that how you want, but as far as tackles and production, he's the number 3 overall in the entire league. Him putting on that green dot and taking the next step like he's done on the defensive side of the ball has been a major part of this defense, not only getting healthy, but looking so good this year when he's clicking and everybody's rolling. I think Jack Campbell...
It's too early to draft a linebacker, though, right?
Yeah. No.
Not when you're the best linebacker on the board.
But it's almost like I'm going
Literally.
back and having the same conversation we did with coach and quarterback. Outside of Chris Spielman, do you remember a better middle linebacker for the Detroit Lions
I
in
loved
the past 40 years?
I mean, I loved
R.D. Sims.
I loved me some
that's
Michael.
it.
Michael Kofer was pretty damn good, but he wasn't really the middle. That was
Same with Levy. Levy was
Levy
really
was
the middle
good.
linebacker,
Yeah.
but the year he had, where I think he led the NFL in interceptions,
Yeah.
he was a monster.
Wasn't he an outside linebacker, though?
Yeah, that's
was,
what,
yeah.
yeah.
That's
I would.
what
But
he
no,
was
it's Spielman.
Shout out
and
Levy,
it's
though. That was my guy.
Spielman and Campbell.
It's Campbell, and they're cut from the same damn cloth,
Wild.
man.
You said what?
It's Spielman and Campbell. Like,
Yeah, that's it.
That's what's crazy is, like, we've been so shitty. for
White
so
boy
long.
2025.
White boy winner.
It is white boy winner.
Got real excited about
Still
that.
wearing,
Right.
still wearing
White people are
shorts.
back,
it's a white
man.
boy winner.
Oh, yeah,
They are back.
sorry, KG.